football with the Uganda Cranes back in Namboole after 5 years. And
fire was there.
Fire against Botswana. And Masha, let me start with you. How did you, what's your perception of the performance of the Cranes in both games?
What I can tell the Ugandans is that we have to be very, very optimistic. You know, we're in Group G and it is still open. It is still, I feel that for the first time in over 5 years and in so many years, Ugandans came out, Ugandans stand up, Ugandans are starting to believe in their national team again. It is just like how Arsenal fans have just started to recently believe in their team again and be hopeful because they keep on knocking on the door and eventually the answers will come. And it's the same situation with Paul Putt's men, the Uganda Cranes, because they played fantastic on the 7th of June at Namboole Stadium, their first game back. Muhammad Shaban with that 74th minute goal to put us ahead. And then even against Algeria, we had the potential to do great things. The national team is really, really promising, and we're in a group that is still open. It is active. Everyone is beating everyone. You know, Mozambique, Guinea, Algeria. Algeria came to our background and they were sort of like panicking probably, but you could say that come the next remaining 6 fixtures, if these boys, just like Paul Putt said just last week, that we have an average age of 23, 24 years old, and these players have the potential. They are starting to have the belief. They're starting to show that those skills, that prowess, and the man who scored the goal against Algeria, Travis Motiaba, was, you know, he was playing like a Neymar in a number 10 position. He was trying to create those chances. You know, we have a solid back line. We, you know, here Bob, we call him Capradosi. Then Sechiganda reminds me of N'Golo Kante. He is also almost like a tall Sergio Busquets. So, you know, if this team can stick together, you know, even in the Africa Cup qualifiers, we can do great things. And we're hosting the AFCON in 2027. These boys they don't need to be disappointed because of the Algerian results, and Ugandans should not be disappointed because of the Algerian result. We played well against Botswana, we played well against Algeria. We are promising, and I think great things can really come out of this Ugandan team.
Bob, your take on the performance in both games?
First things first, one can actually be disappointed. You have every reason to be disappointed about the results, but you cannot be disappointed about the performance of the two in both games. I think they were totally different games. First one against Botswana, you think like Botswana was going to come as a smaller dog, as the underdog. First of all, they are away from home. They're going to come and let you have the ball, sit back and maybe try to, But then take nothing away from Botswana. They really had some good technique. They can actually pass the ball. But the only problem I had with them, maybe which wasn't necessarily a problem for me because that is how I wanted it. They were not so much penetrative with their passing. They could pass from behind, but they weren't penetrative with their passing. Okay. For when they had the opportunity to go forward, they opted for long balls, and I think those ones were countered by Kenneth Semakula. They tried to, you know, force the right-hand side. So the lineup that started against Botswana, you get the impression that the coach had, first of all, had been looking at a series of players. He was looking at having a very competitive and a very attacking-minded side. That is why he named Travis Motiaba and Alan Okello. But then it was Dennis Omedi who came off the bench to, you know, deliver the Holy Grail, setting that ball on for Muhammad Shaban brilliantly. Muhammad Shaban putting it into the back of the net.
I mean, we were all excited.
I mean, as a KCC fan, what more can I say? Mohamed Shaban has been doing
Mobile,
it all this season.
Yeah.
He has the league's top scorer.
And he really makes very good runs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not taking a go tactical,
Yeah,
but
true.
if I've managed to talk to one who is taking one Shafiq Shagram TV.
Yeah.
And Shaban Run is a Shaban. Yeah, they're really good. And
Yeah, he's a fox in the box, in and around. He knows how to treat himself. He knows how to run in and around that box area.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, when opportunity comes, I
Yeah.
think you wouldn't want any other player in that Queen's side apart from Mohamed Shaban.
I think the good thing about the Botswana game is that we were really patient. We knew. We knew eventually.
We weren't rushing things.
Yeah.
We knew the time was running, the time was rolling, but then the opportunities kept coming.
Yeah.
And finally, we get that goal. So if you ask me, we should have had more opportunities to score more goals. If you ask me, against Botswana, we should have had Ibrahim Kasude come in, because he's an attacking-minded player, creative player.
By Mr. Header.
Yeah, but then off the bench, Patrick Kakande could have maybe had.
he wasn't in the top.
He was,
Squad. He was only in the match squad against Algeria. Later on came in. Then again, the game against Algeria.
Against Algeria, it was now a completely different team. The other one was the underdog. Now we were the underdog.
That in the post-match against Botswana.
Yeah,
post-match press conference.
Yeah,
it's a different team.
Yeah, saying we would see a different team, and indeed we did. It did. It wasn't entirely a different team.
But the number of changes.
Attacking.
Yeah, but the players that did start, I think, apart from Elvis Bomono and Alon Okello, there weren't any other changes, because Semakula dropped into right back, and Rogers Mato, who actually arrived on Friday and started that and played had a role in that game, actually came in and played. And started against Algeria. Now this time around, the game plan was us sitting back and beating them on the break.
But if you look at it, we scored in the 10th minute.
Yeah, scored in the 10th minute, but then we weren't necessarily sitting back. We were actually pressing. They lose the ball.
But I think it surprised.
Much better in the first half.
I think it surprised many Ugandans that we scored fast and we
on the ball. And then when we consider that goal in the 46th minute, I thought maybe there was some bit of laxity in my view. That was a goal that, in my view, was okay. All goals are avoidable because all goals are out of mistakes, or one or two. But I think that equalizer by.
I think what Uganda Cranes needed to do coming into the second half, they needed to calm their nerves.
Frustrate more. Like they did by the fact that once they took the lead, they started frustrating us, milking down the clock, and it worked for them.
Yeah, well, I think football is a game of moments and timing. So I think if your coach Paul put you head down the tunnel and have a 15-minute talk of how you're going to treat yourself, of how you're going to walk around that next 45 minutes, you come back and concede in the 46th minute. Everything you have talked about is actually wind. It is, you have got to start again from scratch, and you have
you conceded, I think, 58 minutes.
And I think now from the moment that we conceded straight back from I mean, it is a huge blow. It is a huge blow. And psychologically, even for Algerians, if you score in the 46th minute, it is only a comeback that is in line for it is. We are always saying we are in line for a comeback. We have to win this.
I mean, what we needed was probably to win that game or a draw. But once the boys came back for the second half, they just needed to sort of, because we would know that Algeria was going to come out strong in the second half.
Then it came into
but how about that for a goal from Travis Mutiaba?
It was beating. It was such a
one player and then looking for the far post.
At the end of the day, we were managing. It's an international players who play in the Premier League.
I mean, I get that people can be disappointed. We are back in Namboole. That is our fortress. But this is Travis Mutiaba. This is Ronald Sechiganda playing against Ismail Benassa, playing against Nabil Bentaleb, Said Benrahma, Eight Nui plays at left back.
I mean, we missed Riyad Mahrez. Do you think
they missed Riyad Mahrez?
Would have impacted the Algerian team?
without a doubt, Riyad Mahrez, we all know what he can do.
That trickster.
But even
and
even
Brahimi
without
was injured as well.
Yasin Brahimi, the captain wasn't around.
Yeah.
But even the players that played in that game
were
good enough to kill you on any day.
Ben Rahama for West Ham hit the post as well. But I think Uganda Cranes should be proud of this performance. To be honest, it was 2-1. We could have had more. What they just need to realize that next time, they just need to know that if you're leading in the first half, the boys, your opponents, no matter what side you're playing, will come guns blazing in the second half. What you need to do is to sort of like play those long balls in those first minutes to also disorganize them a bit more.
Well, I won't agree with the long balls, but I agree with keeping shape like we did in first half.
Yes.
We were keeping
Passing
shape
the ball,
very
keeping
good.
shape,
Yeah.
But
then the other thing we could talk about maybe is the moments in which we considered the goals. First of all, when we were trying to counter and maybe try to get the lead back is when we had the corner, then Semakula mistiming the ball, and it doesn't get that ball, and then we concede the counter attack like it was in the last game we played against Algeria. Again, that counter attacks they are kill points. They are going to kill you on the counter. So in my view, Travis Mutiaba should have pulled down that guy on any day.
That's all we have for you. Masho, thanks for joining us. Bob, pleasure, and we'll definitely get back next week with all the latest in the world of sport. The Junior Gazelles, of course, are in action at the Indo in Lugogo. You definitely go out there and support them. Tournament ends on Fridays. Go out there and support them and hope they can stay. And the Junior Silverbacks as well. It's a double header, of course, for them, the Junior Gazelles and as well as the Junior Silverbacks. I've been Kesh, Bob, and Masho. We'll definitely out of your wish you a splendid night, and till next week. Bye bye.